You guys said you wanted to see more of my design remix process. Okay, I'm gonna give you that. Immature, immature. Feels like I've been. Right now, I feel a creative impulse, like it's just biting me in the neck. I have like an idea that I want to execute using an existing dress that I have that I actually hate. Not that it's like ugly or something, it's just kind of basic, and then like it's just a lot of things I'm nitpicking about it. So I'm gonna turn it into something fun. I didn't design, I didn't have like a sketch like planned for it. This is something I'm just going to wing, and I'll show you guys why. But let's go ahead and let's start the process. Okay, so this is the dress. It's like a cute and all, but I don't care for it anymore, so I want to remix it. Here's the dress before, a little before and after, if you will. Like I said, she's cute, but like, now here's the creative process. I'm thinking of cutting this dress in random ways and then filling the gaps with crochet. Now let's go to the lab. Now with this part, this is when I kind of executed what I had in mind for this concept. This was actually for a magazine submission. By the time that this is uploaded, I would have submitted it, so that's why I'm talking about it now. Concept is life after death, so I feel like anytime you rework clothes, it is bringing life after death. So I felt like that kind of hit the concept pretty strong. Now, how I was gonna go about expressing that was the challenge. I decided, since I'm working with like a big yellow dress, let's break up the colors a bit, give a little bit more to look at. I decided to make this a spectrum of primary colors, and I was like, ugh, she went and became a Crayola box. From the color assignment, that's when I was like, oh, how about we make this about paper, since actually, yikes, paper would actually be the reverse. What an interesting take, but anyways, that's where the paper part came in. Mentioned before, after cutting up the dress, I wanted it to kind of feel like crochet was like pretty much busting through the seams like of the tears. I wanted the crochet to be spilling over. I wanted it to be like messy. That was kind of the angle that I had with the crochet. I just thought it would be more edgy, more fun, stuff like that. I chose all primary colors instead of just another color because I felt like it would offer more contrast and then just more stuff to look at and more pops of color. The yellow to me was kind of dull. I mean, it is a pop of color, but it is kind of like a dull yellow. So I thought, let's add, a couple eye catchers. So, the blue and then the red really, really, really helped. And yeah, I felt like that was great. Plus the background that I ended up using for the outfit, the paper doll picture, it would be a nice contrast to the red. It's like a bluish green, and I was referencing the green because I'm Nigerian. I was wearing a gele, and it would contrast the red nicely. So yeah. Now back on the subject at hand, this was me measuring out the cuts so I can know the like the height and width of the crochet panels that I needed to do. I was going to be using my Central knitting machine today to make it easier, and then I'll just sew where need be and then cut off the excess. I like doing like a crochet sew mix because it is challenging, and it also like kind of how can I say, trains me to make sure that my stitches are like locked, because if they're not, the crochet will become undone and we don't want that. So yeah, after I was done measuring them, that's when I started going on my Central knitting machine. This was actually my favorite part because what I did was at certain points when I was just chugging away at the yarn, I would just cut it and start a new color. I didn't want it to be forced. I wanted it to be kind of fluid, so I didn't think too hard about which color to do next, where to cut. I just thought, okay, when it was this, I'll just cut, and if I felt like that was enough, I'll just cut, and yeah. But as I went along, if I felt like a color was lacking, I was like, okay, I'll find a way to make it pop somewhere else, or maybe I would make it the main subject in another panel. But it was just very fluid. I did not want to overthink where I put each color. It was just like, there you go. I also made sure when I attached each new color together, I left like long pieces to give it the spill effect, the messy effect. And then I also let it drop stitch because I was like, you know what? It'll add some edge, all that great fun stuff. Now, when I got to this part, this was tricky because not necessarily, with the pinning, it's just how I was going to pin it. I had to make sure that it still honored the shape of my cuts and not just like, I didn't want to pin the materials like edge by edge or else it would be too loose. I had to figure out where the edge was going to fall on the panel. After I pinned where need be, I went and I sewed it, as you can see here. And that was pretty much it, to be honest. Other than measuring out the panels and whatnot, it wasn't really a long process. And I really enjoyed it. I was like, wow, this is something. It was a really fun concept that I'm glad that I gave a shot. And so, yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed the process and stay tuned for more. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for how sweet you guys are. So, yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.